those are just little cutouts that I use, that I made with a hole saw in the drill press out of just some sheet metal. And then that tooling is just a piece of pipe that I made up. The top tool is a piece of sucker rod, and we're just hammering these down in there. And of course you got to do it in chapters, and then you straighten them out in between. If you try to do it all at one time, you end up tearing them. You tear the bottom of the cup off, so you got to go pretty slowly. So I'm going to use a little ball peen hammer here to do a little texture on the edge of this. There's 100 different ways you could do this. Sometimes I'll actually leave the folds in to give it a real distinctive look. But on this particular ones, I'm going to hammer them all out, give them a hammered look. A lot of hammer control here. It just takes a lot of practice. You just got to get 10,000 hours in, or however much, to get good at this. Pull that tooling out, and now we're going to use the treadle hammer to do the holder. So that coffee can is full of water. I'm just quenching, doing a little courtesy quench, so we don't distort the bottom of that piece of tubing that I'm using. Got stuck here a little bit, and what we're going to do is we're going to get a hold of it and just pop it off. And we're going to progressively go up on tools size here to gradually take that bigger. If you try to do it all at once, you end up splitting the tube or distorting the tube. So it's better to just do it in a couple of stages. So I'm working on 2 here, so this is the second tube. And this tooling is just stuff that I've made. I know everybody says you shouldn't throw 2 hammerheads together, but I think Jody Heineman and those guys, they proved that that's baloney. So I've never had spalding from a hammerhead, only ever from the med chisels. You could leave that unhammered. That's kind of a nice look, just like that. But I'm going to try to match the top and the bottom. So we're going to flatten that out. Put that around here where you can get the edge of that on that little block on the treadle hammer. And I did it here versus the anvil just so I didn't have to move the camera. You can use any square surface that you can get up against. Not too bad. Might be a little warm. I'm going along here pretty good pace, so of course course, that's stuck in there. So now here's what I'm going to do here is I want to have a nice seal around the bottom cup and the candle holder. So I'm going to get a hold of these, and I'm just going to set them down so everything kind of matches up nice. We want a nice seal around here for the next step. So I'm just going to hammer those down. Make sure everything's sitting fairly good. Now I have brushed the inside of those out and taken the mill scale out with a wire wheel and ground the bottom of the little pieces of tubing flat so there's a nice clean surface. So there's a clean surface there and a clean surface on the other. Then we're going to set those in there, and I'm going to fill them with a little bit of, not fill them, but put a little borax as flux in there, bottom. Just a little flux. And then I took some brazing rod and a scrolling tool, and I scrolled a couple of little rings of brazing rod that'll fit down inside there. And I just fit them down in there as close as I can. Get them down in there, and then we're going to put them in the forge. That's the secret sauce going on.